The airlock groaned as it sealed shut behind Captain Mara Thorne, leaving her in silence with the thing she had found drifting among the ruins. She had seen derelicts before, old colonies torn apart by plasma storms, or pirate ships reduced to slag by the patrols. But this was different. It lay hunched in the shadows of its battered craft. The vessel itself looked older than anything she had studied in the fleet archives. Plates of obsidian alloy patched with some fibrous material she could not identify, shimmering faintly like woven glass. Its occupant was worse. Broken, trembling, armor split open to reveal glimmers of flesh and machine intertwined. Mara's breath hitched inside her helmet as the being stirred. Its voice emerged like static carried on a dying comm system. "Leave. You should not stay." "I'm not here to fight," Mara said, keeping her tone steady though her heart hammered. "You're wounded. Your reactor's leaking. If I don't seal it, you won't live long enough for me to leave." Then the being shifted, half turning toward her. For the first time she saw its face, or what remained of it. Smooth metallic ridges framed something disturbingly organic. An eye, amber and alive, flickered beneath. He trembled as he mended his armor, fingers scraping desperately at ruptured seals. But it was no use. His tools were shattered, his strength fading. Mara set her pack down and knelt beside him. "This is the first time a human has touched me," the being whispered, voice low and broken. And said, "Anything but fire." Part 1. The Wreckage of War. The war had ended, or at least that was what the High Command insisted. For centuries, humankind had fought the Caliph, a race that seemed more machine than flesh. Their fleets poured from the dark between galaxies, stripping worlds bare, leaving no survivors. To most of humanity they were monsters. But the truth, Mara now realized, might be different. His armor bore not the marks of conquest but the scars of survival. Layers upon layers of patchwork repairs, each dent telling a story. The insignia etched into his chest plate was faded, nearly ground away, but she could still see the outline of a circle broken by a spiral. Not the sigil of a warrior, but of something else. "What's your name?" Mara asked, activating her plasma torch to cut away twisted shards of his armor. He did not resist. He simply watched her, amber eye unblinking. "Names are given by kin. My kin are dust." "Then I'll call you something," she said, surprising herself. "How about ash? You look like you've walked through it." His eye flickered, perhaps confusion, perhaps something else. Ash. For the next hours she worked. She sealed his leaks, patched his suit with whatever scraps of alloy and fabric she could salvage. Ash's silence grew less guarded as time passed. He muttered things under his breath, half memories, half warnings. "Stars burned before your kind walked. We were custodians, now hunted." Each phrase gnawed at Mara's certainty. If what he said was true, then perhaps the war had been born not from invasion, but from misunderstanding. Part 2. The Long Silence. Ash could not stand on his own. His frame was too damaged. So Mara helped him aboard her shuttle, ignoring every regulation screaming in her mind. To bring an enemy aboard was treason. To speak with one was heresy. But something in his fragility compelled her. When the shuttle drifted free from the wreck, Mara set a course for a barren moon nearby. There they could land, recalibrate, and perhaps speak without interference. On the descent, Ash spoke again. "You are not like the others." "Others?" Mara asked, hands steady on the controls. "Humans who came before. They saw only steel, not soul. They tore, burned, harvested. They never touched without seeking to kill." His words pressed on her like a weight. She wanted to argue to defend her people, but deep down she knew humanity had indeed sought only dominance. The stories told in academy halls rarely spoke of peace attempts, only victories and martyrs. Once landed, Mara helped Ash onto the moon's surface. The low gravity let him move without collapsing. His gait was unsteady, but his gaze lifted to the sky. "I remember this," he whispered. "Moons without breath. Stars that sing. I walked such places before humans ever carved their first stone." "You make it sound like you're ancient," Mara said. Ash's head bowed. "We were built to endure. We were left behind by those who shaped us. When they vanished, we kept their vigil. Until you came." The words unsettled her more than any weapon could. Part 3: The Vigil. Days passed. Mara rationed her supplies, shared water and energy with Ash, and slowly their conversations deepened. He told her of the Forerunners, beings who sculpted the first civilizations of the stars. The Caliph, he said, were not conquerors but guardians, machines woven with flesh, designed to protect the archives of countless extinct worlds. "But when we approached humans," Ash explained, "your fleets saw weapons, not memory. We defended ourselves. Your kind multiplied faster than we could reason. War was inevitable." Mara felt something crack inside her. She thought of her father, a soldier who died when she was 12. His ship consumed in a defensive skirmish against Caliph raiders. If Ash spoke true, then her father's sacrifice had been for a war born of fear, not justice. Still doubt gnawed. Perhaps Ash lied, spinning stories to weaken her resolve. Yet when he spoke, his trembling voice carried not triumph but sorrow. One evening, as Mara worked to reinforce his chest plate, Ash's hand brushed hers. The touch startled her. Not cold metal, but warmth, faintly pulsing. His voice cracked. "This is the first time a human has touched me, and not recoiled." Mara looked at him, then really looked. Not as an enemy, but as a being caught between survival and extinction. She tightened the final seal on his armor and whispered, "Maybe it's time we learn to touch without fear." Part 4: The Betrayal. But secrets cannot remain hidden forever. On the 10th day, Mara's shuttle picked up a signal. Fleet command. They had tracked her unauthorized flight. Soon, 3 destroyers descended on the barren moon, weapons hot. "Mara Thorne," came the Admiral's voice across comms. "Step away from the machine and surrender. You are charged with treason." Ash tensed, armor plates shivering. His systems were barely holding. He could not fight, not against 3 warships. Mara's mind raced. She could surrender, plead insanity, and perhaps live out her days in a prison cell. But Ash would be dismantled, his memories erased, his truths buried. She rose, standing between him and the sky. "Admiral, listen to me. He's not our enemy. He's..." "Enough, Captain. That creature has cost billions of lives. Step aside." Ash's trembling hand touched her shoulder. "Go. Do not fall with me." But Mara shook her head. "No. If they want you, they'll have to take me too." For a heartbeat, silence. Then the destroyers began to descend, shadows blotting out the stars. Mara activated her comm again. "Then hear me, Fleet Command. If humanity destroys every voice but its own, it will never know the truth. And the truth is standing right beside me." Part 5: The Choice. The destroyers closed in, cannons primed. Ash staggered forward, raising his broken arm toward the heavens. A sphere of light blossomed from his core, faint but steady.